especially with the destructive zombies, because eventually they're gonna break enough blocks down there. Because we're not gonna go down there and find them. We're not gonna find all of them at least, because it was fucking expansive.
I would go down there sometimes and just like fix up the railing and make it look a bit nicer.
Break off.
That's what I did when I was bored. I would just fix shit.
I did searches down there frequently. I went down there a lot. I think we cleared it out, actually.
We did eventually. We eventually cleared it out. We mapped out pretty
layout,
much the whole area.
But zombies would spawn down there sometimes.
Yeah, they would spawn.
Yeah, that would be the problem, was because then you'd have blood moons, and eventually they're going to dig out so much of it that the whole fucking church is just going to fall in on it.
I would love to fucking see that, though.
Oh,
take
our church was a really good starting idea to like hang out at.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was. There was no real good reason to be in it like 25 days in.
Yeah,
because it was just very big for no reason in particular, and
it was just cool.
It looked cool, but it wasn't really defendable at all.
Yeah,
I think it'd have been cooler if we had like a bit more people, because we had 4 people max.
4 people, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it would be fucking awesome if we had like 8 people there.
Well, that's the problem, is we would have more zombies than we could deal with at all.
I don't know. I think it would be cool because we'd have people stationed around every like corner of it.
Well, that's what 4 people would be able to do. Would be 1 person at each corner. But when that last blood moon came in, when the church almost got completely destroyed, everyone was sitting at like the front gates, and I was sitting above the front gates on like these little platforms I made, and I kept going around the base, just like, guys, they're going through this bit. And I was like, I don't know where you guys are at. I think you guys are all at like the front door, like in like a kill box.
Yeah.
I was like, they're getting through on this side. And everyone's like, oh, they're getting over here too. Running out of bullets.
I think that might be part of the strategy, is instead of making it so impenetrable that they attack from all sides, I think, and depending on how smart the AI is, because I don't know if it's a pathfinding AI or if it's just like if it's just going to point A, which is you. If it's just trying to figure it, and if there's a wall there, then it just tries to destroy it. But if it is pathfinding, it would be cool because you could develop like a system where you have like an opening in the defenses, but it's a trap basically. And I wonder if they can. I don't know if they can sense that, or if they can. But it'd be something to try, to like leave purposeful openings just so that they target those first.
Like RimWorld.
Yeah,
you just build a giant wall around your base.
Is that what you
like? RimWorld is like a little colony survival game.
Okay,
where it's all top down. You got to manage your colony and everything.
Super
hard. It's pretty hard
cool.
if you're playing at hard difficulties. It's pretty easy when you're playing at easy difficulties.
Yeah,
but so you get rated pretty badly when you're. I like to put on the second hardest difficulty, and so like 10 days in, you'll start getting raided by people with fucking machine guns, and all you have is like 2 guys with bows and 2 guys with clubs. And it's just like, you have nothing to deal with that. But what you can do is you can just like build like little spike traps in some places. You can build walls around your base, and you just build a wall around your entire base. And you build a little corridor where at one end is where they come in. On the other end is like all of your colonists, and then you just get like a fuck ton of turrets. So what I like to do is it's really expensive and difficult, but I like to try and get everyone in my colony like miniguns and sniper rifles. Because it doesn't matter if you're bad with the minigun, it's a fucking minigun. You're gonna shoot everything in an area.
You're gonna hit something.
So you have 10 people sitting there with like miniguns.
Down.
It takes forever to get miniguns because they're stupidly expensive, but it's because they kill everything.
That kind of sounds like
10 people in a line just fucking kill box.
There's a volley.
Everyone tries to come down the corridor. Everyone fucking opens up their minigun. You get shot 10 times.
It kind of sounds like Factorio.
It is. It's a bit like Factorio, except it's like more colony instead of factory.
Yeah, instead of or like resource management.
Yeah, there is some like there's a bit. There's like you have to farm and shit.
You gotta farm. You gotta keep people food. You gotta have like the resources.
They have like
to repair
sanity
things.
and shit. And like their own like quirks and traits. So like some of them, what was it? One of them like nudist or like narcissism and shit. And so they all have like different traits and modifiers to each colonist. So each one is different and unique. And it's like they'll have like scars and like injuries and shit.
So they'll give them pain. So like on their like mood meter be like -2 slight pain. It's because you have a you have like a painful scar on your arm, or if like you're missing a leg, that'll be painful too. And you can give them like synthetic like
arms
limbs. So like if someone loses their leg, you can give them a peg leg. Then eventually you can give them like a prosthetic leg. Then you can give them like a bionic leg. And eventually, in one colony that I went super far in, where I almost finish the game, but I almost beat the game, but then I got bored right before I finished it. I had one guy decked out in the best possible armor you can get, so he takes almost no damage, and I replaced both of his arms with like, in this game there's like you can buy special bionic arms where they're stronger than like any metal. They have special abilities, so this guy's arms were more useful than any other arm in the game, and they also were powerful enough to crush metal. So I would run him into a fight, completely decked out in armor, and just like two-hit every single person he runs into with his fists. He would just kill people by punching them to death.
Jesus.
It was fucking amazing. And then one day he got fucking... The best and worst thing about RimWorld is chance. You can run a guy into a fight, and one of your guys will just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot over there," with a sniper rifle. Blam! Shoots your guy in the head and he's dead. Your guy, not the other guy. And you just have like, if you're just mowing down an area with miniguns, you might accidentally shoot something in the way, and you'll just kill something. And a headshot is an instant death. And it happens randomly.
At least
at the start of the
stick with the headshot.
Yes.
When you're starting at the start of the game, you always have to use someone to melee.
Right.
Because you don't have any defenses set up. So you'll just have someone far away just like shooting away, and just randomly, sometimes you'll get shot, but very, very rarely, just your guy, when you're like starting 4 guys, will just die instantly because you shot him in the head.
Jesus.
Stupid. It's a great game, but it makes me so angry sometimes with chance.
I think the first game I got or Voting Gap for me on Steam, and I played like 200 hours into it or some shit.
I have like 5 or 7.
Yeah,
Jesus
I got
Christ.
really fucking into it really
It's
fast.
such a good game. It's completely different every single time. You can just like, you can be like, oh, I want to settle in the Arctic. That's what I like to do, because I did that.
Because you can generate an entire world, I'm pretty sure, but it takes a longer time to generate it. But there's like hexagons, and each hexagon is a whole map, and it's like fucking how many hexagons? Like 1,000 hexagons on the globe, so you can go the entire fucking globe. And
There could be like it could be like plains, small hills, large hills, mountainous. There could be a river, a creek. You could be on like the side of like an ocean, or like I don't know what else, a sea.
Yeah.
Like, so like a part of your map is just water. It's really good. It's completely different. Just every single raid is completely different. You might just get raided by 50 chinchillas. I had that happen one time.
What was it, squirrels or some shit?
It's an
Yeah,
interesting
you
thing
can
to
get,
be.
you can get
to just be
raided by
attacked
20
by.
squirrels. You can get attacked by a herd of elk. Just something stupid. Just completely, just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's sheer RNG.
Just like that's what you have when you put on Randy Rando. I had one time where I got raided 5 times in 5 days, and by the 5th raid, I was like, I have 1 person's comatose, I have 2 people dying from an infection, and a 3rd guy bleeding out because no one can help him. Just what am I supposed to do? I almost I fought off every single raid as best as I could, but I couldn't fix everybody or set up my defenses by the time the next raid happened. And there weren't even hard raids. It was like 2 guys with knives. But 2 guys with knives every single day coming up and stabbing your guys a bit slowly deteriorates your colonists. You slowly start to just
Go figure.
die. And then I had one time where in 10 days I had like 8 good things happen. Like I got a cargo pod full of food and I was low on food. I got one of medicine. The next day I get like cows show up, so then I get cow friends.
Components and shit.
And like components pop up, traders, like every single day something good would happen. I'm just like, why does this happen? Sometimes I get completely shit on.
Right. Yeah, I don't
Or
I don't know,
3 times in a row you'll get 3 separate plagues. 3 days in a row.
that luck mechanic would absolutely piss me off, because it'd be like,
Well, that's what happens. You get really angry and you fucking just quit the game instantly. Then you reopen it and start another colony. Just like, alright, so I want this guy in this colony because, I want to balance out the stats. And like 2 hours later, you're like, fucking done. And they just rinse and repeat until you get a colony that doesn't die in 20 minutes.
alright, honey, time for your daily ass beating.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. My god.
Fuck, it's a great game.
It is such a good game. It takes quite a while.
Yeah.
But there's some really amazing mods. Like I I had this really bad
There's a
mod.
multiplayer mod that me and Bo used to do a bit of.
It's great. The problem is last time we tried it, it didn't work because you were at a place that didn't have internet.
Yeah, well now I got place it.
We should play it again.
We should try it,
actually.
yeah. Because we have internet now.
We stopped playing it because I couldn't play it with you because you didn't have good enough internet.
And I stopped playing it because I did it for like 200 hours and then I was bored of it.
So there's some of the really good mods is there's like a wall light mod because your people get sad when they're sitting in the dark.
Right.
So if your rooms are all dark,
that
they're
makes
like,
sense.
I don't like the dark. Can there be some lights? But the problem is the only
I hate
lights
that my floor is dirt.
they take up like a block of area as a light, and it's like, well, you wouldn't have every single light in your highly
1 cubic
your
meter.
sci-fi base. You don't have just standing lights everywhere around your base. So there's a mod that's just wall lights. You just have a light in your wall. There's one where there's underground wiring, just so it doesn't make your base look really ugly.
Right.
And your people won't complain about it. There's like embrasures and walls. So it's very common that you build walls around your base. So you can put like embrasures in your walls where your guys get like 80% cover and you can shoot through it. So like when you got raiders, you can just set up guys on embrasures and just shoot through the wall. And
right.
the most memorable one for me is this really bad one I got. It's like smarter infestations. So one of the things that happens in the game is if you dig under a mountain, you have a chance of an infestation happening, or there's like this weird bug creature.
Fucking spider ants.
Mega spiders, scarabs, just weird, crazy bug alien things.
Okay.
They just pop up and then they just try and eat and kill everything. But I got one where it's smarter infestations, where there's hives. There's a few hives around the world, and they'll spread sometimes.
Oh.
And sometimes they'll come to your colony, and they'll basically do a sort of, like, raid.
Right.
But it's different to every other raid, where it's like, we're going to come and kill all your colonists and take all your shit and run away. They just set up a little place. They set up a little hive. When it gets really late in the game, when your colony is worth a shit ton of money, the raids get more difficult.
Gotcha.
So you'll show up with, like 3 queens, because this mod would add a queen one, which is almost impossible to kill. It takes like 4 guys with miniguns just spraying for like a minute straight to kill one. So there'd be like 3 of them, like 8 mega scarabs, like 30 scarabs, and then there's like mega spiders or something.
Yeah, some other shit.
Just a metric shit ton of everything, and I'm just like, I have 10 guys, and you can't kill all of these things with 10 guys.
Right.
Just like, why is there so much shit? And it would happen, what would constantly happen is, the map is really big, and you're only generally looking at where your colony is. You're not, like, zooming out and, like, looking at the entire map. So mainly for, like, 90% of the time, just looking at your little colony on the map.
Yeah, which was like a quarter.
And it wouldn't tell you sometimes when they would pop up. It would just be like, there's mega scarabs now. So I would kind of look around the map and just be like, death, dog 2. I'm like, what? Something killed my dog? What happened? And I would click on it and it would take me to where it was. And there's just a fuck ton of mega scarabs. And it's like, how long have you been here?
Gee, I wonder how.
And they just have giant piles of food. And I was like, there's no trees and there's no animals and like a giant radius around them. And I'm like, you've killed everything in a giant radius.
So they don't just fuck you. They don't just fuck you over. They fuck everything else over, which kind of fucks you over in the end because you're like, I could kill these guys, but they'd have nothing for me.
Well, they just get bigger and bigger, and they'll just take over the rest of the fucking map. They'll just kill everything in sight. And you deal with them quickly, or you deal with them when they're really fucking big, because they'll come for you eventually. And they just get bigger and bigger, and they just grow. And it's impossible. When I had the clan of Dum Dum Cannibal Club guys, I had each of us had 5 guys, and my group of 5 guys were big, strong guys.
Yeah,
they were all cannibal, like strong. I can't remember what it is, but they like to kill people. They like to kill people like bloodlust or something. Like they don't get scared by blood; that makes them happy. So I just had a group of 5 guys that all love killing people.
Cannibal.
Whenever someone would show up, there would just be 5 guys running out with clubs and just beat them to death. And then we would go inside and cook the dead bodies and eat them. And one time, Ireland was playing with me too, and he just had a perfectly normal colony.
Balanced colony.
My colony was balanced too, but everyone liked to beat the shit out of things. And one time, some Thrumbus popped up, and Thrumbus are
The biggest.
the biggest, scariest